I think people are perverts. I've maintained that. That's the foundation of my career.
David Fincher first got his start directing music videos for propaganda films, which produced almost a third of all the music videos by 1990. Along with Fincher, Propaganda House acclaimed directors such as Michael Bay, Spike Jonze, David Lynch, and Zack Snyder. He and his peers were the first to gain their footing into the film business through the music video industry of the 80s. Some artists Fincher directed included Foreigner, Paula Abdul, Rolling Stones, Sting, Aerosmith, and Michael Jackson. Those most famous artists he collaborated with was Madonna with Vogue. Due to his escalating popularity within the music video industry, it wasn't long until Hollywood came knocking. His first film directorial debut was the third edition in the highly acclaimed Alien series. Following in the footsteps of Ridley Scott and James Cameron, Fincher's Alien 3 bombed hard. Fincher has since denounced the film and has attributed its lack of success to creative intervention from his producers and other personnel who essentially sabotaged the film because they didn't agree with Fincher's original direction. Nonetheless, Fincher continued to receive scripts and job offers until he settled on Seven. Seven is the story of two detectives, played by Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt, as they try to solve a series of murders that are influenced by the seven deadly sins. Seven was the film which launched Fincher's career. Produced on a budget of $33 million, Seven emerged #1 in the box office opening weekend, eventually earning over $300 million overall. The success to Seven can be largely attributed to Fincher's directorial style and the performances of its actors.
What's in the box? What's in the fucking box?
Fincher's Seven introduced the neo-noir genre, an industrial take on the film noir genre of the past. Audiences were very receptive of this new neo-noir genre, which utilized lots of contrast, meaning darks were very dark and whites were very white, leaving very little color in the middle. It used industrial music composed by Trent Reznor, and it also featured a bleak ending, atypical of the classic Hollywood ending.
Ernest Hemingway once wrote, "The world is a fine place and worth fighting for." I agree with the second part.
Fincher follows up Seven with one of his most well-known films.
First rule of Fight Club is, you do not talk about Fight Club. The second rule of Fight Club is, you do not talk about Fight Club.
Fight Club is about a guy, played by Edward Norton, who's unsatisfied with his life until he meets Tyler Durden, played by Brad Pitt. After getting into a fight behind a bar, they decide to start a Fight Club, which eventually escalates into an anarchist group, and things get kind of out of control. Fight Club maintains the same neo-noir style that we saw in Seven. It has dark themes and works as a satire on the consumerist society that was thriving in the 90s.
How much money you have in the bank? Not the car you drive. Not the contents of your wallet. And not your fucking khakis. You were the all-singing, all-dancing crap of the world.
When it first came out, it wasn't as successful in the box office due to the violence and moral ambiguity. With a budget of $63 million, it only ended up making $37 million in the box office. It wasn't until later that it gained popularity. In David Fincher's Zodiac, he continues with these darker themes. Based off the book, the film is about the true story of the Zodiac Killer. It follows Robert Graysmith, a cartoonist played by Jake Gyllenhaal, as he tries to uncover the Zodiac Killer. a serial killer in the 70s that sent clues and puzzles about his murders to newspapers. Like Seven, it's a crime/detective film with a neo-noir style. Also like Seven, it has a not very satisfying and bleak ending, because we never actually find out who the killer was, only who it might be. In the 2000s, Fincher's movies take a bit of a different style. In The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, he has a much lighter style, unlike his previous movies. It also lacks his usual satire on society, and is more story-based. It was well scripted with thoughtful and eloquent dialogue like his other films.
It's never too late, or in my
Case too early to be whoever you want to be.
It was extremely successful, making $127 million in the box office. It was also nominated for 13 Academy Awards, including Best Director and Best Motion Picture.
Mr. Zuckerberg, do I have your full attention?
No.
After the success of Benjamin Button, Fincher goes back to making more satirical films with The Social Network, which comments on society and social media. Like Benjamin Button, it's not the neo-noir style we saw in Seven or Fight Club, but it still has the strong and thoughtful dialogue that conveys the message.
I think if your clients want to sit on my shoulders and call themselves tall, they have a right to give it a try, but there's no requirement that I enjoy sitting here listening to people lie. You have part of my attention, you have the minimum amount.
Because of this, The Social Network was also a huge success. It made $96 million in the box office, and for the second time, Fincher was nominated for Best Picture and Best Director. Even though David Fincher is a professional, he doesn't take watching movies that seriously. I'm always surprised at how seriously people take movies. It always surprises me what people get their bowels in an uproar about. It's a movie.
Gazing with tranquility. Just then when the hurdy-gurdy man came singing songs of love. Then when the hurdy-gurdy man came singing songs